All right, so now we're going to learn some basics of Excel. Many of you will already know this, which is fine, but I'm assuming you don't. So everybody starts off at the same, well, so everybody will learn, okay? So what we want to use is we want to use Excel to analyze data because we don't want to do it by hand because it takes too long. So we want to use functions. So to see what functions are available in Excel, so this is the sum sign. So just watch what I do up there. Look at the sum sign. So you click the arrow next to that sum sign. All right, so those are the the common things, but there's many more. I mean, there's so many. It's incredible. There are so many functions. So sum, you add all a bunch of numbers, average, you count them, max, min. So look, more functions. All right, so you can just, like it says here, type a brief description of what you want to do, or you can select the category. So let me show you all the categories. So all, financial, date and time, math, trig, stats, text, logical, on and on and on. I mean, there's so many functions, more than you'll ever need. Let's do math and trig. So look at that. So absolute value, so that's arc cosine, arc hyperbolic cosine, arc cotangent. I mean, just keep looking. Look at all these crazy things they have. I mean, so many things. Some of them I haven't even heard of. That's all right. Okay, so I'm saying there's just gobs and gobs of functions, more than you'll ever need. So let me show you how to use it. All right, so let's say I have all these numbers, right? So I don't care what they represent, I just made it up. So I have all these numbers, okay? And I want to find the average for whatever reason. So what I do, so you've got to put your cursor where you want the average to appear. So you're going to put your cursor right there. Then you're going to say, Excel, find the average. So you go up to the function key here, click that little arrow, and I want average. So I click on average. Now, Excel is awesome. It didn't used to be so awesome, but now it's super awesome. So not only does it tell you, what it's going to do, but it tells you it's going to take the average of what cells, in other words, what data points. So it says, I'm going to take the average of the data in cell B1, this is cell B1, right, all the way to B13, so B13. Well, good, that's exactly what I want you to do, Excel, so do it. All right, great. So you hit the arrow, you hit the return key and the enter key and bingo. Now, you should always ask yourself a very important question. Does that seem reasonable? You should always ask that. Because what if you hit something incorrect by mistake? Like, for example, what if this was 100? Would you believe it? Of course not. I mean, look at 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. How could you get 100, right? So don't be a robot. Okay, always ask yourself, is the answer Excel gives me reasonable? Okay, now I'm going to do something incorrect on purpose just to prove a point. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to find the median. Okay, the median. All right, so I put my cursor where I want median. I go up here, and it doesn't have median, so I go more functions. And this is kind of statistical, so I'm going to go statistical. And I'm going to find median. Whoop. Come on, there it is, median. Notice, by the way, it always explains what it is, right? Median returns the median, the number in the middle of the set of given numbers. That's nice, tells you what it's going to do. Okay, so that's what I want, right? Okay, so then I go down here, click OK, and OK. Uh-oh. Now, what's wrong? What's wrong? Well, you know, Excel tries to read your mind. It really does. But it doesn't always work. So I only wanted to find the median of the data in cells B1 to B13, right? I didn't want it to include the average. But how did Excel supposed to know? So what did Excel do? It found the median of the data in cells B1 all the way to B14. In other words, it included that. So what I should have done when I went up here and I clicked on let's see, I don't want to do that, sorry. So let's get rid of that. Okay, come on, go back. All right, so I put it here. Then I go up here. I click median. I got to find it again. What I should have done, I should have paid attention, right? So I click OK, and see, it's telling me. Say, look it, I'm going to go from B1 to B14. It tells me here, and here, and here. I mean, come on. And so what you have to do is pay attention, and you have to change it. Say, no. I only want it B1 to B13. And you can change it any one of those three places. And then, yes. I mean, you knew it was wrong because it wasn't a whole number, right? And come on, you only have whole numbers. You know, it's going to give you the, okay, so anyway. All right, now, so that's cool, that's good. All right, now we have standard deviation. So I'm not going to make the same mistake, right? So I go here, and I want statistics again, and I want standard deviation. Oh my gosh, look at all that. So standard deviation P, S, A, what's all this baloney here? So what we want is the one with a P. So click the one with a P, and calculates the standard deviation based on the entire population given as arguments, okay? So it's easy to remember this. P, just remember physics, huh? So standard deviation dot P, physics, okay? So I always use the one with the P in this class anyway. Okay, so all right, so that's what we want. But now we're going to be careful again. See, look at it. It's trying to read our mind, right? Excel thinks I want the standard deviation of all this here. I don't. I just want one B1 to B13. So I got to, again, there, and there. It's like, come on, people, right? Excel is trying to really catch our attention, you know? So let's just make it 13. And there you go. Okay, so that's the standard deviation. All right. Okay, let's see. Okay, now oftentimes you have to make your own formula. So let me show you how to do that. I guess before that, hold on a second. Yeah, before we do that. Okay, let's say, so here's okay, I'm just going to show you a couple other things. So let's say for whatever reason we want this number to have 3 sig figs. Okay, 3 sig figs. So, I mean here, you know, I just put in 20. Well, how many sig figs is that? It's not 3, right? So what you have to do is you go up here, okay, right here. So you can see this. This increases the decimal. This decreases, right? Move this out of the way. Okay. So here you go from 0.0 to 0.00. Here you go from 0.00 to 0.0. So watch. So here it is, right? 1 sig fig. So I click that, and I want to increase. So there you go, 3 sig figs. Okay. So that's nice, right? And here, you know, let's say I want 2 sig figs, so I click it. Boy, it's hot in here. All right. Now, here's a trick for you. So how are you going to write 100? Don't look. How are you going to write 100 with 2 sig figs? Because how many sig figs does it have right now? 1. Right? And if you put the decimal point right there, it will have 3. So how are you going to get 2 sig figs? You have to write it scientific notation. 1.0 times 10 to the second. Okay? So just be aware of that. Okay, so yeah, you'll use this a lot. This is really super useful. Formula is super useful. Okay, let's do some other things. Okay, oftentimes you're going to be writing your own formulas. Like today's lab, for example. So, okay, I'm going to go over here. So let's say you want to have a formula. You want the data here multiplied by the data here. So whenever you tell Excel that you're going to write your own formula, you have to begin it with an equal sign. So that's the sign saying, Excel, I'm going to do my own thing now. Okay? Now, so let's say I want to multiply this by this. Well, Excel just thinks in terms of cell, you know. So this is cell A33. This is cell C33, gosh, right? A33, C33. So you say equals A33 multiply by C33. Okay? And so on the handout you can see that, you know, if you want to add, you know, you're going to use that plus sign. Subtract, subtract. Multiply is the asterisk, okay, the asterisk. And divide is just is this, you know. So, so if I wanted A33 divided by C33, it would be equals A33 divided by C33. So what it really means is you take the data in cell A33 and you divide that by the data in cell C33. Okay, so here's a real life example. So years ago, I used to weight the exams differently. So the first exam, so this is in class. So exam 1 was 10% of the grade. Exam 2 was worth 20% of the grade. Exam 3 was worth 30% of the grade. And the final was worth 40% of the grade, or something like that. All right? So how do you do it? How do you, you know, I don't want to add up all this stuff and forget it, right? So you just want Excel to do all the work, you know? So here, this is how you do it. So Excel, I'm going to write my own function. So equal sign, and then I want to take the data in cell A33, multiply it by 0.1. So equals 0.1 multiply by A33. All right, awesome. Now I want to add that to 0.2 times this. So I add 0.2 multiplied by C33. And then I add 0.3 times that and 0.4 times that. And you can see it, you know, it didn't used to do this in the olden days. I mean, it even, you know, shows you which cell you're referring to so you don't mess up. It's really nice. All right, so let's see. 0.3 multiplied by E33, and then add 0.4 multiplied by G33. Ow! Horrible. Sorry, guy. Okay, so not too good, right? Well, look at the grades. What do you expect? All right, so this person, his score is 58, or he or she 58.636. Okay, now, I don't want to write that every single row. That'd sort of be silly. I mean, that's what computers are for, right? So what you do, hold on a minute. So what you do, you put your little cursor right there, and then you move your cursor to the bottom right. Now look at the cursor now. It's kind of wide, right? Then you move your cursor bottom right. Look what happened to the cursor. It became narrow, yeah? And then you just drag it. Just drag it all the way down. Bingo. So there, you're done. 5 minutes. It's great. Can you imagine how it was in the olden days? People, before Excel, they had to do it by themselves, by hand. Okay, so that's that. Okay. All right, so those are just the basics. Now, how do you learn all of this? By practice. So what I want you to do as part of your lab is go to Canvas. Let me see if I can get that to work. Okay, so this lab is Statistics 1. So like I said, everything that I show you or every document is always going to be on Canvas. So, you know, the handout with the statistics that's there, the PowerPoint slides are here. I'll get to that in a minute. All right, so how do you learn Excel? By using it. So here is an Excel exercise for students. So what I want you to do is you can either open it here on Canvas or just download it on your computer. You got to have Excel, right? And just work through all of the exercises here. It's just to give you practice. I mean, you're going to be using all of this the entire semester. You have to know how to do this stuff. So go through and complete these exercises on your own. You know, you have to hand this in. So this is part of your, you know, I don't want to call it part of your lab report because it's not part of your lab report, but you have to hand it in, okay? You know, I told you get between 0 and 5 points for the report. You get 1 point if you do this, all right, if you hand this in and it's complete. Doesn't mean you have to get it, you don't have to do it perfectly, but you have to at least try everything. And here's the answers. How do you like that? I'm giving you the answers. So do this on your own, because remember, you're going to be doing this on your own the whole semester, and then check yourself, all right? Check yourself with the answers. Okay, that is it. Okay, let's cut.